My dear friends, have you ever paused to wonder what the final days of our world might hold? In the quiet of your heart, have you sensed the whispers of eternity, calling you to seek the truth? Today, I invite you to join me on a sacred journey, not merely to an abandoned place, but into the very mysteries of God's Word, where the past, present, and future converge in a divine tapestry. Step with me into the silence of a forgotten amusement park, where joy once reigned, but now only echoes of prophecy remain. Are you ready to uncover the signs that point to the end of days and the hope that lies beyond? This place, my friends, was once alive with laughter, a radiant symbol of human joy. Families gathered here, children ran with delight, and the air was filled with the music of life. But now, as we walk through its rusted gates, we are met with a haunting stillness. The Ferris wheel stands motionless, its silhouette a stark reminder of time's relentless march. The carousel, once vibrant, is cloaked in dust, its horses frozen in an eternal gallop to nowhere. Yet, in this silence, there is a voice that speaks not of despair, but of divine purpose. The Book of Revelation, the sacred text that unveils the end of days, calls us to listen. It tells us of signs, of trials, and of a hope that endures. What secrets does this forsaken place hold? What truths might it reveal about the world's final chapter? As we venture deeper, let us reflect on the words of Revelation. Behold, I am coming soon. These are not words of fear, but of promise. This park, abandoned by humanity, is not abandoned by God. Every rusted beam, every faded sign, seems to whisper of a greater story. Once, this was a place of celebration, drawing thousands to its gates. But something changed. The crowds vanished, the lights dimmed, and the joy faded into shadow. Why? The answer lies not in the decay around us, but in the spiritual truths that endure. In Revelation, we read of a world that turns from God, chasing fleeting pleasures, only to find emptiness. Could this park be a mirror of that truth, a warning of what happens when we forget the one who gives life? Yet, even in this desolation, there is mystery. As I walk these overgrown paths, I feel a presence, not of fear, but of purpose. The silence is not empty. It is pregnant with meaning. Look at these faded murals on the walls, their colors peeling yet still vivid with scenes of chaos and redemption. One depicts a great city falling, its towers crumbling as waves rise. Another shows a figure cloaked in light, standing amidst darkness. These images echo the visions of John, who saw the heavens open and the earth tremble. Are these mere artworks, or are they prophecies painted by hands guided by a deeper truth? My heart tells me they are more than relics. They are signs, calling us to awaken. Let us pause here, before this crumbling ticket booth. Amidst the debris, I find something curious. An old journal, its pages brittle but intact. The ink is faded, yet certain words stand out. The end is near, but hope remains. These words, written by an unknown hand, resonate with the message of Revelation. The final days, as John describes, will be marked by trials, earthquakes, wars, and the rise of a figure who deceives the world. Yet, even in the darkest hour, God's mercy shines. This journal, like this park, is a testament to that truth. It reminds us that no place, no soul, is beyond the reach of God's love. As we continue, let us hold fast to this hope, for it will guide us through the shadows. As we move deeper into this forgotten park, my dear friends, the air grows heavier, as if the very stones beneath our feet carry the weight of untold stories. The path ahead narrows, leading us to a rusted gate, its hinges groaning as if reluctant to reveal what lies beyond. Yet, we must press on, for the truth is not found in comfort, but in courage. In the book of Revelation, John speaks of a time when the world will face great tribulations, when the seals are broken and the earth trembles. Could this gate, this threshold, be a symbol of that moment? A passage from the joys of the past into the trials of the future? Let us step through, together, and seek the wisdom hidden in this sacred silence. Beyond the gate, we find a courtyard, once vibrant with the chatter of crowds, now cloaked in an eerie calm. Scattered across the ground are fragments of what was. A child's toy, a torn ticket, and a faded photograph of a smiling family. These relics, so ordinary, yet so profound, remind us of the fragility of our world. Revelation warns us of a time when all that we hold dear may be swept away, when the foundations of society will shake. But it also speaks of God's faithfulness, of a love that endures even in the darkest hour. As I kneel to touch the photograph, I feel a stirring in my heart. These people, these lives, they are not forgotten. Their stories, like ours, are part of God's eternal plan. Look up, my friends, at the great Ferris wheel looming above us. Once a beacon of joy, it now stands still, its cabins swaying gently in the wind. In its stillness, I see a reflection of our world, caught between motion and pause, between hope and uncertainty. Revelation tells us of a figure who will rise in the final days, the one called the Antichrist, who will deceive many with promises of peace. Yet, the wheel reminds us that even in the height of deception, God's truth remains unmoved. This structure, though abandoned, still stands. So too does our faith, which must endure the trials to come. Let us hold fast to this truth as we explore further, for the signs are growing clearer. In the shadow of the wheel, I notice something peculiar. A series of markings etched into the ground, barely visible beneath the overgrowth. They are not random scratches but deliberate symbols, arranged in a pattern that speaks of intention. Some resemble the seals described in Revelation. Others hint at ancient prophecies of judgment and redemption. Who carved these signs? Were they left by someone who saw the truth? Someone who sought to warn us? My heart quickens as I trace their outlines. These are not mere relics of a forgotten park. They are whispers of eternity, calling us to awaken. The final days, as John foretold, will be marked by signs, some clear, some hidden. It is our task to discern them with faith and wisdom. Let us walk now toward the old theater, its marquee faded but still bearing the words, "The Greatest Show." How fitting, for Revelation itself is a divine drama, unfolding the ultimate story of God's justice and mercy. As we enter, the air grows cool and the shadows deepen. The stage is empty, yet I feel a presence, as if the echoes of past performances linger. On the floor, I find a tattered program, its pages describing a play about a world in chaos, redeemed by a figure of light. This is no coincidence, my friends. The stories we tell, the relics we leave behind, they all point to the eternal truth. Revelation speaks of a final act, when Christ will return in glory, bringing justice to a broken world. But before that day, we must face the darkness. Among the seats, I discover a small box, its surface worn but intact. Inside, there is a collection of letters, written in a trembling hand. One reads, "The end is coming, but do not fear, God is near." Another speaks of a vision. A beast rises, but a lamb prevails. These words mirror the visions of John, who saw the rise of evil and the triumph of Christ. Who wrote these letters? Were they left by someone who walked this park, seeking to share the truth? My heart aches for their courage, for their faith in the face of uncertainty. These letters are a reminder that we, too, are called to be witnesses, to carry the light of hope into a world that grows dim. As I stand in this theater, surrounded by echoes of the past, I am struck by a profound truth. This park, this journey, is not about despair, but about awakening. The signs we see, the symbols, the letters, the relics, they are not meant to frighten us, but to call us to action. Revelation is not a tale of doom, but a summons to faith. It reminds us that even in the final days, we are not alone. God's Spirit is with us, guiding us through the shadows. Let us leave this theater with renewed resolve, ready to uncover more of the mysteries that await. For each step brings us closer to the heart of God's plan. My dear friends, as we step out of the shadowed theater, the light of day feels both a comfort and a challenge. The path before us winds toward a secluded corner of the park, where an old chapel stands, its steeple leaning as if weary from years of silent vigil. In the book of Revelation, we are told of a time when faith will be tested, when the world will turn from the light of truth. Yet, even in desolation, this chapel remains, a humble testament to God's enduring presence. Let us approach with reverence, for within its walls, we may find not only relics of the past, but signs that speak to the future of our world. The chapel's door creaks as we enter, revealing a small sanctuary untouched by time. Dust dances in the slanted beams of light, illuminating a simple altar adorned with a single candle, its wax melted into a frozen cascade. Above the altar, a faded mural depicts a lamb standing triumphant amidst a storm. This image, so vivid in its quiet power, calls to mind the Lamb of God, who, in Revelation, breaks the seals and brings salvation. Yet, the mural is not alone in its message. Scattered on the pews are pages torn from a Bible, their edges curled but their words clear. Blessed are those who persevere under trial. These words are a beacon, guiding us through the uncertainties of our journey. As I kneel before the altar, my fingers brush against something hidden beneath a cloth. A small, weathered book, its cover embossed with a cross. Opening it, I find notes written in a careful hand, describing visions of a world in turmoil. Cities burning, seas rising, and a figure cloaked in darkness leading many astray. These words echo the warnings of Revelation, which speak of the Antichrist, a deceiver who will test the hearts of humanity. Yet, the final page offers hope. In the end, the Lamb will reign. My heart stirs with both awe and urgency. This book, left here in this sacred space, is not a relic of despair, but a call to stand firm in faith. Let us pause here, in this holy silence, to reflect. The chapel, though abandoned, is alive with the Spirit. It reminds us that no place is forsaken, no soul is beyond redemption. In the final days, as Revelation foretells, many will face trials that shake the soul. But we are not alone. The God who walked with John on Patmos walks with us now, offering strength to face the darkness. As we prepare to leave this chapel, let us carry its message in our hearts. The trials will come, but the Lamb will triumph. With this truth as our guide, let us continue our journey, seeking the next sign in this tapestry of prophecy. The path from the chapel leads us to an open plaza, where a massive stone slab lies half buried in the earth. Its surface is etched with strange symbols, unlike any language I have known, yet they pulse with meaning. Some resemble the trumpets of Revelation, heralding judgments upon the earth. Others suggest a map, with lines converging on distant points. Could this slab be a record of events yet to come, a prophecy carved by hands that saw beyond their time? As I trace the symbols, I feel a connection to the eternal, as if God himself is speaking through this silent stone. The final days, as John described, will be marked by signs that demand our attention. Are we ready to heed them? In the center of the plaza, I find a pile of discarded objects, rusted tools, broken toys, and a single, tarnished mirror. Holding the mirror, I see not only my reflection but the weight of our shared humanity. Revelation warns us that the end will come not only through external trials but through the choices we make within. The Antichrist will deceive, but only because hearts have turned from truth. This mirror challenges us to look inward, to examine our lives. Are we living for the fleeting pleasures of this world or for the eternal promise of God? The objects around me, once cherished, now lie abandoned. They remind us that all things pass, but God's love endures. As I set the mirror down, I notice a faint inscription on its frame. "Seek the truth, and it will set you free." These words, drawn from the gospel, resonate with the message of Revelation. The final days will test our resolve, but they will also reveal the power of truth. The signs we uncover in this park, the book, the slab, the mirror, are not mere curiosities. They are invitations to awaken, to prepare our hearts for what lies ahead. The world may grow dark, but we are called to be bearers of light. Let us move forward, my friends, with courage and hope, for the next discovery may bring us closer to understanding God's plan for the end of days. My dear friends, As we leave the plaza behind, the path grows narrower, leading us into a shadowed grove where the trees stand like silent sentinels. Their branches, heavy with age, seem to whisper secrets of days long past. In the book of Revelation, John speaks of a time when the earth itself will cry out, when nature will bear witness to the unfolding of God's plan. Here, in this forgotten corner of the park, I sense that cry. The air is thick with meaning, as if the very ground beneath us holds a truth we are only beginning to uncover. Let us walk with open hearts, for the signs of the final days are not only in the heavens but also in the earth we tread. At the heart of the grove, I find a small fountain, its basin cracked and dry, yet adorned with intricate carvings. The figures etched into the stone depict a procession, a multitude walking toward a radiant light, their faces alight with hope. This image stirs my soul, for it echoes the vision of Revelation, where a great multitude from every nation stands before the throne of God, clothed in white, singing praises. Yet, beside the fountain, I notice something unsettling. A pile of shattered statues, their faces marred as if struck in anger. Could these broken figures represent those who turned from the light, who chose the path of deception in the final days? The contrast is stark, a reminder of the choice we all must face. As I kneel beside the fountain, my hand brushes against a hidden compartment in the stone. Inside, there is a scroll, its parchment brittle but intact. Unrolling it, I find words written in a language both ancient and alive. The beast will rise, but the faithful will endure. These words, so simple yet so profound, mirror the warnings of Revelation about the rise of the Antichrist, a figure who will lead many astray. Yet, the scroll also speaks of endurance, of a remnant who hold fast to God's truth. My heart aches for those who will face this trial, but it also rejoices, for God's promise is clear. Even in the darkest hour, His light will prevail. Let us linger here a moment, in the silence of this grove. The shattered statues, the radiant carvings, the scroll, they are not mere relics, but a call to discernment. Revelation tells us that the final days will be a time of testing, when the world will be divided between those who follow the Lamb and those who follow the beast. This grove, with its beauty and its brokenness, is a microcosm of that reality. Challenges us to ask, where do we stand? Are we prepared to endure, to carry the light of faith into a world that grows dim? As we prepare to move forward, let us hold fast to the scroll's promise, for it is a beacon of hope in the trials to come. The path from the grove leads us to the edge of the park, where a massive gate looms, its iron bars twisted as if by some great force. Beyond it lies the world we know, yet this gate feels like a threshold between the past and the future. In Revelation, John describes a new heaven and a new earth, where God will dwell with His people, wiping away every tear. But before that day, there will be trials, deceptions, and the rise of evil. This gate, with its warped bars, seems to symbolize that moment of transition, a world on the brink of transformation, yet teetering on the edge of chaos. Let us approach with courage, for what we find here may reveal the final piece of this sacred puzzle. As I touch the gate, I notice a plaque embedded in the stone beside it. Its surface is worn, but the words are clear. Prepare your heart, for the time is near. These words resonate with the urgency of Revelation, which calls us to readiness, to watchfulness. Beneath the plaque, I find a small box, its lid engraved with a cross. Inside, there is a single page, torn from a book, with a passage that reads, "Behold, I make all things new." These are the words of Christ, the promise of renewal that lies beyond the trials of the final days. Yet, the page is stained, as if handled by many hands, a reminder that this promise comes at a cost borne by those who remain faithful. Standing before this gate, I feel the weight of our journey. The signs we have uncovered, the journal, the symbols, the scroll, the page, they all point to a singular truth. The final days are not a distant future, but a reality that draws near. Revelation is not a story of despair, but a call to action. It urges us to prepare our hearts, to stand firm in faith, and to be witnesses to God's love in a world that hungers for hope. This gate, though rusted and worn, is not a barrier, but an invitation. It beckons us to step into the world with renewed purpose, to carry the light we have found in this park into the lives of those around us. Let us pause here, my friends, and reflect on the journey we have shared. The park, with its silence and its signs, has been a mirror of our world, a world of beauty and brokenness, of hope and warning. The book of Revelation, with its vivid visions, is not meant to frighten us, but to awaken us. It reminds us that we are not mere spectators in God's plan, but participants called to live with courage, compassion, and faith. As we prepare to leave this place, let us carry its lessons in our hearts, ready to face the challenges of our time with the strength of the one who makes all things new. As I stand before this weathered gate, ready to step back into the world beyond, I am filled with a profound sense of awe and responsibility. This abandoned park, with its silent rides, its hidden scrolls, and its whispered prophecies, has been more than a place. It has been a sacred encounter with the truths of God's Word. The book of Revelation, with its visions of trial and triumph, has guided our steps, revealing signs that are not confined to this forgotten place, but are woven into the fabric of our lives. As we prepare to leave, let us reflect on what we have discovered and what it means for the days ahead. The signs we have uncovered, the journal in the chapel, the symbols on the stone, the letters in the theater, the scroll in the grove. They are not relics of a distant past, but messages for our present. They echo the warnings of Revelation. A time will come when the world will face great trials, when the Antichrist will rise, and when faith will be tested. Yet, they also proclaim a greater truth. The Lamb will prevail, and God's love will never fail. This park, though cloaked in silence, has spoken loudly of hope. It reminds us that even in the final days, we are called to be bearers of light, to live with courage, and to love with the heart of Christ. But, my friends, this journey does not end here. The gate before us is not a barrier, but a doorway, a call to carry what we have learned into the world. Revelation is not a tale to be read and forgotten, but a summons to action. It asks us to prepare our hearts, to seek the truth, and to stand firm in faith. It challenges us to look at our lives and ask, are we awake to the signs around us? Are we ready to face the trials with hope? The world may grow dark, but we are not powerless. Each of us, in our own way, can be a spark of God's light, a voice of compassion, and a witness to His love. As I step through this gate, I carry with me a question that I invite you to ponder. What will you do with the signs you have seen? The prophecies of Revelation are not meant to paralyze us with fear, but to inspire us with purpose. They remind us that we are part of a greater story, one that leads to a new heaven and a new earth. But it starts now in our choices, love and faith. Let us choose to walk in the light, to build a world where justice and mercy reign, and to prepare our hearts for the day when Christ will return in glory. I invite you, my dear friends, to join me in this mission. Share this journey with others so that they too may hear the call to awaken. Speak of the hope you have found and the truths you have uncovered. Let your voice be a beacon in the darkness, guiding others to the light of God's love. And if this journey has touched your heart, leave a comment below, sharing your thoughts, your reflections, and your prayers. Together, we can build a community of faith, a family united in hope. If you are moved, please click the like button, not for me, but as a symbol of your dedication to spreading this message. As we part ways, know that you are not alone. The God who spoke to John at Patmos speaks to us still, guiding us through the trials and leading us to salvation. Walk firmly in faith, for the path ahead, though challenging, is illuminated by hope. The final days may draw near, but so too does the promise of a new beginning. Let us go forth, my friends, with hearts full of courage, hands ready to serve, and souls anchored in the love of Christ. The light is shining, even now, and it will guide us home. Thank you for walking this path with me. May your journey be filled with hope, and may the peace of God be with you always.